Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at some of the updates made to the patch 5.1 website. Just like the last time I made a patch 5.1 website video, it's about 6 in the morning this time, so I'll try to have my wits about me and not screw up something like the lake like I did last time. But Vows of Virtue, Deeds of Cruelty, patch 5.1 is coming out October 29th, and so it had to get updated at some point the week before. I mean, we've got patch notes coming out, proposedly tomorrow. Now, some of the stuff that was here last time that we covered in the previous video is still here. The main scenario as well as a few other little things were present, but it's had a pretty massive update to give us at least some 1 or 2 sentence lore tidbits as well as some new images to work with. Now, for Your Hot Dark Apocalypse, the 24-man based on Nier Automata, we do have a little bit of a description here, and there's even a special site which we'll come back to at the very end of this video. Machina, indistinguishable from men in appearance, speech, and demeanor. Anyone in Novrant would dismiss such an idea as the fantastical ramblings of drunken dwarves. The discovery of a white-clad woman identifying herself as an android, however, may call everything that has been long believed about technology into question. So yes, it goes into a little bit more detail in the special site, as well as having quotes from Yoko Taro and Yosuke Saito. But we will come back to that. Now, Grand Cosmos, this was present the previous time we looked at it. This was where I made the mistake about thinking the source was referring to our source and not the lake in the Lakeland, which is also called the source. A little bit of a tidbit here on the Minstrel's Ballad. Since these are just, fantastical ramblings of, in this case, the minstreling wanderer, there really isn't too much to say other than a walk down memory lane. Hearken unto the requiem for a fallen hero, a man who lived 1,000 of our lives, clinging desperately to faint hope, never shirking his sworn duty to his long-lost brethren. A man who stood proud and did avow his true name on the threshold of battle that would see him fall to his rival, the light to quench his shadow. Borrowing liberally from the funereal rites of the Knights Blessed, the minstreling wanderer weaves an elegy in that hero's honor, the tragic yet triumphant tale of a man in a battle that shall ne'er be forgotten. Ne'er shall be forgotten. And so with that, we just get a couple of quick images, stuff from the patch 5.1 trailer that we should be familiar with at this point. So there's not much else to say there. Alexander, the clockwork fortress that manifested itself in the far reaches of snow-swept Dravania, did bear an uncanny resemblance to the great steel giant sung of in the legends of the Hotko, an Auri tribe hailing from far across the sea. Inspired by this tragic tale of a mechanical god who placed his trust in a single mortal soul, the minstreling wanderer spreads the proverbial wings of imagination and take flight, weaving an impassioned ballad of hope and despair profound. So I was surprised to see that it was the minstreling wanderer who was actually giving us the Alexander story. I thought they might send us back to the Wandering Minstrel, especially because his level 70 appearance is in Kugane, which is the closest in proximity you would get to the Hotko. So, obviously they do exist in Novrant too. I guess we don't really know the Aura exists in Novrant as well, but it was still surprising to me that they decided to go with the Minstreling Wanderer for this and not the Wandering Minstrel. Either way, that is a PTSD-driven thing that we're going to visit in another video once I finally get it complete. Then we have the Blue Mage update, which story-wise we just get a little bit of a tidbit here. Since you last met, Martin has been striving to further the interest of the fledgling Blue Mages Guild. Not only has he uncovered a wealth of powerful spells for you to master, he's also arranged for groups exclusively comprised of Blue Mages to journey into perilous territory to test the limits of their abilities. I put on an accent for the word perilous there. That's patch 5.15. That probably won't be until early to mid-December-ish, but we'll be doing some Blue Mage videos before and after this content update drops. Also joining it in patch 5.15 is the Onslaught Hakar. Now I was curious what the lore behind this was going to be, because in Stormblood and Nadam, they describe it right here, so I might as well just read it. The Zayla of the Azim Steppe are renowned for their ferocity in battle, a traditional preoccupation that culminates once each Sengun Sar as they clash to earn the right to rule in the Nadam. Such infrequent conflict is insufficient to sate the Steppe's most zealous warriors. However, thus the Danshig Nadam, smaller contests to which the grand companies of Eorzea have now been welcomed. Join forces with the Maelstrom and the Orban people, the Adders and the Edgin, and the Flames and the Horo in this grand demonstration of martial prowess, and may the mightiest prevail. I'm really looking forward to this. It's reminiscent of a PvP mode called Seal Rock. If you haven't done a lot of PvP before, it's a bunch of micro King of the Hill style competitions, all in a giant map. And so I'm really looking forward to this. I haven't really PvP'd much at all lately, but this will definitely get me PvPing again, at least for a little bit, especially when we take a look down at some of the other things. Ishgard Restoration got added here with some stuff from the live letter as well. With the Dragonsong War brought to its conclusion, the Houses of Lords and Commons have approved large-scale reconstruction works aimed at revitalizing the Holy See of Ishgard. The principal site for the project is the Firmament District, which sustained extensive damage during the millennium-long conflict. Appointed overseer of this endeavor is the young Lord Francel of House Halianar, who now seeks able and willing artisans the realm over to contribute to this great and noble cause. This will probably get me crafting a little bit once I'm through with a bit of ultimate related stuff. And we get English versions of these screenshots from the live letter. So the first stage of concerted works: obtain material from supply pile, process material at workstation, assemble material at assembly site. Those are going to be concerted works, or the fates kind of for crafters. And we also have the Medican's Court, which it doesn't give us much more information on because it's not hovered over and we can't read it. So basically we have to stockpile as much as we can, and then the concerted works to repair begin once the entire black bar is filled. And then that should allow us to be done with progression for a given patch once we've completed all of the important aspects or all of the limits that we've been set for a given patch. And then we're all good. And then there was just the gear that is related to it. You know, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be going for that tank top, but it's pretty good stuff. It's pretty good workwear, I would say. And then we go to Beast Tribe quests. Now this gives us a little bit more insight in what we saw in the live letter. This is coming right in patch 5.1. Vrantic folklore holds that pixies have a penchant for visiting the dreams of mortals. Assuming there is a truth to this legend, what manner of dreams might these mischief-loving souls bring with them? If you would know the answer, close your eyes, suspend disbelief, and step into Mage, the fantastical garden of dreams. So that's no doubt where this image actually takes place, and we are going to have free reign of this place. And honestly, you know, I really do appreciate the added effort of the dev team to give us at least a region, something new visually. You know, obviously we get new encounters, new dungeons, and stuff like that all the time. Having a new kind of idle area, which will eventually be accessible to more than a single individual, is something that's very welcome. You know, we don't get new, open world areas during expansion. So something like this is a nice micro substitute for that kind of loss. Of course, we'll get the exploration zones eventually, and those will kind of feel like that, but they don't exactly. We should just get some other images of pixies that we have seen from either the trailer or the live letter. That one I think is new actually, but either way. Now, custom deliveries. This is a custom delivery I'm excited for because of who it involves. Kai Shear, a character that you should be familiar with if you've done the Shadowbreaker's main scenario, as you became familiar with him quite early on. Kai Shear has at long last been reunited with his childhood friends in Yulmore, though he finds the city itself undergoing sweeping changes following the fall of Vothry. In the hope of helping to forge a brighter future for his new home, Kai Shear devises a plan to attract visitors to Yulmore, with the beehive playing a central role. However, in order to cater to the needs of customers from every walk of life, he must seek the aid of none other than the Warrior of Darkness. Having Kai Shear be the one to take over, trying to make Yulmore a massive, is something that anyone, not just the rich and the wealthy, can go to and seek salvation in and seek life in, is a pretty big deal, considering his place. Now, I don't know if the beehive necessarily was the best place to choose to do it, although I'm sure some of you are thinking, no, that's the right place. That is absolutely the right place. But he knows that's an everyman's kind of place to go, I guess. Yeah, either way, I'm looking forward to that one. I probably will actually do it. I haven't done any of the custom delivery recipients in a while. Slices Right is the new Gold Saucer Gate. It's basically Yojimbo hitting us with a bunch of AoEs. Hailing from the far east, the mysterious swordsman Yojimbo descends upon the Gold Saucer. Only those with lightning-quick reflexes and the providence of the Kami will be able to withstand his onslaught and reign victorious in the ultimate test of skill. And sheer luck. You know, they're not joking around. We got a good preview of this during the live letter, and that's looking to be one of my new favorite gates along with Leap of Faith. We also got new systems here, crafting and gathering overhaul. They're going to be making some big changes in patch 5.1 and 5.2 to help beginners and veterans alike, trying to make the, we've seen the UI overhauls with the crafting trees as well as cutting out the chaff when it comes to the skills. There's all sorts of things they showed us, and there's not even done showing us stuff because patch 5.2 is going to have even more changes coming then. So only thing I'm not a big fan of is the desynthesis change. I still am waiting for slightly more information on it from the patch notes before I go, ugh, all the way. But it's overall a great thing that they're doing with the crafting and gathering. Performance update, they made it so you could do concerts in a sense, where you could do like bands, I guess would be the more appropriate way of doing it, where you can more easily sync up the audio of multiple different performers. And they also is a new instrument. It's really cool. I keep performance turned off when it's just like casually in Limsa Lomensa, but I've seen some people do some really great and creative stuff with that. New Game Plus, which is still a point of contention, going back, replaying the old stories. A Realm Reborn's not available. It's just Heavensward, Stormblood, and Shadowbringers. A Realm Reborn will get added when it's reworked in patch 5.3, and they will be adding other things like job quests and other important side quests later on. It does not reward experience points for going back and doing things. There's no quest rewards at all, except probably an achievement, if I had to guess. But that's all I can really come up with. There's other than that, it is just another way to replay the story. Fellowships. I think this was in the last one. These are like link shells, but almost they're not really like link shells. They're like private party finders in a sense with a posting board. Curious to see if those will be used. I think the raid scene and maybe hunts or treasure maps might see some good use out of this. But other than that, maybe I just don't have a creative enough mind, or I don't have enough hope in people. Then we got a bunch of new items down here at the bottom. This was not here at all last time. So this is no doubt the mount that comes from Hades' Elegy, or Elegy, whichever it may be. And that's, for me so far, the coolest looking Drake. I actually really like the Drakes from Titania and Innocence, but for me, that's a clear favorite. Now that's a question mark. Where do we get that from? A few things that pop up are custom deliveries, because it has to do with Yulmore. It could be New Game Plus after completing all the chapters that are currently available, or just recompleting the Shadowbringer story a single time. It could be the new PvP mount, because they did say we would be getting a new PvP mount, but that it wasn't a ball. There's a few possibilities, but either way, that'll be another new mount that we have to look forward to. Now for new minions, I gotta say, I need my boy on the left here, because that smile is literally the most cherishable thing I've ever seen in this video game. I'm sorry, Goldeen on the right, but you do not even remotely compare to the smile coming out of the creature on the left. I think I know what kind of creature it is, but I don't want to get it wrong. So I'm just gonna say he's a marsupial of some kind. And that I love his face, and I will love his face for forever. That's going to be my lake for this video. You know, the thing where it's like, you don't know what animal that was? New hairstyles. Okay, that's fine. We saw that picture during the live letter also. We saw it in the form of a held up piece of paper, but yeah, we still saw it. We have the Estinian lean emote, which you don't have to lean against the wall. You can lean against the back of another person, or no wall at all. That's another emote that'll be there. And the new PvP gear, we have finally confirmed that the almost Android-esque gear will be from the new PvP. I love this kind of armor, this very techy, bulky, muscular, but at the same time kind of tight armor. I also am a big fan of the cloak, the kind of scarf-like cloak on the left there. I'm a big fan of that right there. But overall, this is like I'm getting full revengeance right here. I can feel it. I can feel the revengeance in my soul. And then these were some other screens they showed that are just basically, you know, higher quality renditions of two of the armor sets from there. And that's everything on the patch 5.1 website. I did say that there was the special site for the, let me scroll back up to the copied factory, with a few additional quotes, which I felt were nice. Like an enigmatic android, mysterious machine life forms, and deadly secrets. Newfound ruins amidst the Durgar Mountains have drawn the attention of curious dwarves and warriors of darkness alike. The discovery of a pale-garbed woman calling herself 2P, however, will force these intrepid explorers to confront the reality and dangers of technology beyond their wildest imagination. We then just get a few screenshots, some of which we've already seen from the patch 5.1 trailer or from previous previews. That of one of the bosses just dropping some very familiar orbs on top of the party. We get a quick look at some of the characters. 2P, an android in white, awakened with the excavation tunnels near Kamra. Her knowledge of the ruins and the machine life forms could be an invaluable asset. Now, in case you didn't know, Anog and Konog already have a quest available in the game, which teased that this would be the location for this raid series. We don't know if it's mandatory to complete in order to go in, but you might as well go give it a look. I forget what the name of the quest is, but it's out there. It's out there in Colusia, and I'm sure someone in the comment section has the answer to that. Clever and curious twins who make their home and a nuisance of themselves in the village of Kamra. They are determined that the Warrior of Darkness help bring their master's plan to fruition, whatever that may be. Their master plan, not masters. And then just machine life forms. These peculiar machina, discovered in the ruins unearthed by Colusia's dwarves, are so unlike anything else found in Novrat that their very existence seems beyond the realm of possibility. Whence have they come, and to what end? Then we have the guest creators. We've got Yokotaro on the left, who with this quote, "Good morning, Yokotaro here. Just last night I had the strangest dream where I was working on a raid for Final Fantasy XIV. Then I woke up and told Square Enix about it, and they were like, that wasn't a dream." And cut off suspiciously. Then Saito on the right has something a little more interesting. "Greetings, I'm Yosuke Saito, aka Yosu-P. If 2B stands for Yorha number 2 type B, what does 2P stand for? It can't possibly be second player this time. Well, I'm sure that if you play Yorha Dark Apocalypse, you'll find that the mystery completely resolved." Cut off right there. So 2P, we will be learning a little bit more about the Yorha structure. They are going to, what it sounds like, canonize what the Android designation is. We're not going to get into the Android designations from Nier, but lets you know if you're a Nier fan that it will not just be second player this time around, or at least it couldn't possibly be, right? So then Nier Automata. This is just like a little preview. If you haven't played Nier Automata before, this is just a little section to cover that. I guess to encourage you to try and pick up that game before you play Yorha Dark Apocalypse. But if you're watching this video, it's a little too late. You might just want to get a summary at this point, like I may have. So anyway, that's going to be a wrap for this patch 5.1 preview video. I need to go get coffee, get this rendered, and get this posted before I start my stream for the morning. So thank you everyone for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share your thoughts on the various aspects of the patch 5.1 website. I will see all of you in the next video, and until then, take care.